Tales from the Grey House, Episode 9, The Lantern That Burned Without Flame. The house felt heavier now, not darker, just weighted, like a room where someone had been crying moments before you entered. Ruby and Vinnie followed Grey into a narrow gallery, lined with lanterns of every shape and age. Some were brass, some were tin. One was carved from a single piece of bone. None of them were lit. Grey paused before a lantern made of blackened iron, its glass warped as though it had melted and reformed. "This," he said, "is the Lantern of Lenny Calder, a man who feared the dark so deeply he tried to burn it away." Ruby folded her arms. "Another ghost story?" Grey smiled faintly. "A memory, nothing more." "Calder was a night watchman," Grey began. "A quiet man, dutiful, but he had one flaw. He believed the dark was watching him back." Vinnie snorted. "Sounds like a nutcase." "Perhaps," Grey said, "but fear is a powerful sculptor." He lifted the lantern gently. One night, Calder found the lantern in the lost and found. No wick, no oil, no mechanism at all, just an empty shell. But when he held it, it glowed. Ruby frowned. "How?" Grey shrugged. "Some objects burn with memory instead of fire," he continued. "Calder carried the lantern everywhere. It lit his path, it warmed his hands, it whispered to him, soft reassuring things. He felt safe for the first time in years." Vinnie leaned in despite himself. "But the lantern grew brighter and brighter and brighter still, until Calder could no longer see the world around him, only the light. He walked straight into the river, convinced he was stepping onto a sunlit road." Ruby whispered. "Did he drown?" Grey nodded. "They found him clutching the lantern, still glowing, still warm, still whispering." He set the lantern back on its shelf. "Some fears," he said softly, "don't want to be cured, they want to be fed." Ruby's eyes drifted to the other lanterns lining the walls, dented, pristine, cracked, warped, each one holding its own quiet menace. "What about the others?" she asked. "What do they do?" Grey turned to her with a look that was almost fond. "They illuminate," he said. Ruby frowned. "Illuminate what?" Grey stepped between the row of lanterns, fingertips brushing the handles as though greeting old friends. "If you light them," he said, "you see what they illuminated for their last holder." Vinnie snorted. "Like memories?" Grey shook his head. "Not memories, moments. The last thing they ever saw clearly." Ruby swallowed. "And if someone lights one now?" Grey paused beside the lantern shaped like a teardrop. "Then," he said softly, "you see what they saw, whether you wish to or not." A low hum rolled through the gallery, not from the lanterns, but from the walls themselves, the house shifting its weight, listening. Ruby stepped back. Vinnie muttered, "Yeah, let's not light anything." Grey smiled faintly. "A wise choice. Some lights shine on things better left in shadow." Ruby drifted toward a low cabinet in the back of the gallery. Something inside glinted. "Grey," she called softly, "what's this?" Grey didn't answer. Vinnie joined her and froze. Inside the cabinet sat a canvas bag, stained, frayed, stamped with a faded crest. Blackfriars Jewellers, London. The drawstring was torn. A spill of cut gemstones glittered like frozen lightning. Vinnie's breath hitched. "No way! No bloody way!" Ruby frowned. "What is it?" Vinnie swallowed hard. "The Blackfriars job, London, 1922. Biggest jewel heist of its time. Crew turned on each other, shot each other dead. The gems were never found." He pressed a hand to the glass. "Every thief knows this story." Ruby whispered, "Is it cursed too?" Grey shook his head gently. "No, not cursed. Not unless greed prompts betrayal in either of your hearts." Vinnie's jaw tightened, just a flicker, but enough. Ruby stepped back. "Vinnie, don't." Grey's voice was soft. "You may take it if you wish." Vinnie stared at him, and for the first time believed the house was offering him a gift, a way out, a fortune, a future. Then a thought hit him sideways. "How the hell did this get to America?" Ruby blinked. "What?" Vinnie shook his head unsettled. We're in the States. How are London jewels? He didn't finish. A sudden silence fell. The storm, the endless pounding storm that had followed them since the heist, stopped. Not faded, not softened, stopped. Like someone had closed the door on the sky. Vinnie froze. Ruby whispered, "That's not right." Gray folded his arms behind his back. "Storms end," he said. "Even the ones we carry." Vinnie's jaw tightened. His thought sharpened to a single cold line. "The rain's done. Time to finish this. Shoot the old man. Grab the valuables. Get out." He slid a hand toward his coat. Gray watched him, not alarmed, not surprised, just waiting. The lanterns flickered. The house held its breath.